Being wealthy has its advantages, but not for the reasons you might be thinking. See, once you've reached a certain level of wealth, what you start noticing is that that wealth actually starts generating more wealth for you. And it's not some super elaborate secret. See, anyone can start doing this. As long as you stay consistent and responsible, you're able to invest and start generating a sort of money making machine for yourself that eventually just runs on autopilot. And the returns become incredible. So in this video, I'm going to break down the eighth wonder of the world known as compound growth. Welcome to Finance for Everyday People, where I, Jeff Mora, teach you all about your personal finance like you should have been taught. Because if an everyday guy like me can figure it out, then so can you. So let's start with an example. Let's say we have little Jimmy who earns $20 a week from his allowance. And one particular week, he decides that instead of spending it on candy or video games, he's actually going to go and start up his own little business, a lemonade stand. He puts that $20 to open up a small little stand to sell some basic lemonade. And what we see is at the end of the week, little Jimmy has made $30. Now, Jimmy's thinking to himself, hey, with this $30, I can buy even more candy or buy even better video games. So as he's contemplating what to do with that money, he gets a better idea. Why don't I use it to grow my business even further? So instead of splurging it on something that's not necessarily something he needs, he goes ahead and spends that full $30 revenue onto improving his lemonade stand. So Jimmy uses the full $30 to reinvest into the lemonade stand. And what do we see is that he uses it to buy better quality lemonade. And it looks like it's worked out because he actually ends that second week with $50 in revenue. And again, Jimmy's thinking to himself, hey, I could spend this $50 on things I don't need, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep reinvesting it into the business. Now, in week 3, we see some real improvements around the stand. He has a flashier sign, he's selling a second product, and the money flows even more. We see he ends week 3 with $100 earned. Now from there, we see that Jimmy has really improved his lemonade stand. Using the full $100, he has a flashier sign, he has several people working for him, he has several products, and business is booming. And the revenue, well, it's more than he ever made before. So what can we learn from Jimmy? Well, there's actually a few lessons we can learn from him. The first thing is he kept reinvesting. See, it could have been really easy for Jimmy to just take his profits one week and go ahead and splurge it on candy, go see a movie, or whatever fun thing he wanted to do. But instead, he was responsible and kept putting that money back into the business. Not just his principal, which was the initial $20, but also the returns, each profit he made every week. And by doing that, he kept the machine alive, because the moment he cashed out on his profits, the game is over. The second lesson is compound growth. See, with each gain he's making every week, let's say the first $10 in week 1, because he reinvested it back into business, we can say that that $10 actually helped him make $20 the following week. Because he put that $10 and was able to buy higher quality lemonade, that attracted more customers, generated more revenue, thus higher profits. And then the same thing for the next week. That $20 profit was able to get him a second product, a flashier sign, again, attracting more customers, generating more revenue. And that $20 profit turned into $50 profit the following week. So what we can see is that as he's earning more and putting into the machine, those earnings are actually generating more future earnings, bigger than the previous one. And this is where I'll go back to my snowball analogy that I showed in my last video. It starts off small, it's slow, it's boring, but as time goes on, it builds up, and the additional snow it's gathering helps it gather even more snow the further it goes down the hill. And this is the magic of compound growth. See, if you keep your money working for itself instead of cashing out, again, lesson 1, reinvesting, by staying in the game, those gains increase and accelerate as time goes on, making you more and more money the more patient you are. Lesson 3. And this is something that Jimmy should have done that he didn't. See, if you remember, I said that every week he gets an allowance of $20. And so what he should have done is with every week he gets $20, he should have also put that into the business. This means he's continuing to add into his investment while it's already growing for itself. It's further fueling the fire. We can think of this as like our paychecks we get regularly. We want to take a portion of it and continuously contribute it into our investments. That way, we're not just letting our initial principal grow on its own, but we're assisting it by patting in more snow into the growing snowball. And finally, the most important lesson is patience. See, in Jimmy's case, it only took a few weeks for him to gain some real wealth. But for the rest of us in the real world, it can take years, maybe even decades. It's going to feel boring. It's going to feel unimpressive. But that doesn't mean you stop. As long as you stay consistent, keep contributing, don't cash out, and let compound growth do its thing, then eventually, things will explode. And that's why it's also crucial to start as soon as you can. Because the earlier you start, that allows you to have more time to let the acceleration hit higher and higher speeds. By staying patient and letting compound growth do its thing, you'll see that if you stayed invested for 30 years, the amount you would gain on that 30th year alone surpasses the first 10 years combined. In this chart, we'll see a scenario where we invest $5,000 each year into our portfolio. And what we're doing with that portfolio is buying a stock that gets us 10% annual returns. And yes, there are stocks that get you 10% back on average each year. In year 0, we start with just our $5,000 investment. And a year later, we see that 10% return come in, that $500. We add that to our overall portfolio alongside the $5,000 we added that year as well, our contribution, and we see that our net portfolio value is $10,500. The following year, we see that we start off with $10,500 in our portfolio. We get the 10% return alongside our $5,000 contribution, and we end that year with $16,550. And it goes on and on and on. Let's take a look at year 8. See, we're still contributing $5,000 a year, but what you'll notice is that year's returns actually surpasses $5,000. This means we've built our wealth up to a certain level where now each year it's working harder than we are. It's earning on its own more than $5,000. It's earning more on its own more than what we've ever put into it in a year. And that's the magic behind this. You can literally see that the machine has taken over and is doing a lot of the heavier lifting for us. And by year 30, our yearly returns are extraordinary. All we need to do is stay in the game for one more year, and we're already a millionaire, earning $90,000 in 1 year off the machine alone. Now, I need to make this important disclaimer. I said that we were buying stock that on average gets us 10% returns each year. But that's on average, meaning there are going to be bad years. Sometimes there's a housing market crash. Sometimes there's a global pandemic. Sometimes we're in a war we didn't expect ourselves to get into. All these things can cause a recession and really put a downturn onto our portfolio. Things might scare you. The headlines make it even worse. There's a frenzy amongst people, amongst friends, amongst family. But this does not mean you stop. See, historically, the market has always bounced back. Not back to what it once was, but even higher. Remembering this fact and staying calm, not getting emotional and panic selling, keeps you in the game. Because again, the moment you cash out, it's all over. Stay long enough to bounce back from those downturns, and you'll see that your portfolio, your wealth, and your money machine will keep getting bigger. So let's recap what we learned today. First, is keep reinvesting. Let your principal and returns keep working for you. Compound growth. The money you earn starts making money for itself. And the longer it works, the faster it grows. Remember to keep contributing regularly. More fuel and more time means massive results. And finally, remember to stay patient. Things will get slow, things will get scary. But remember, time is not your enemy, it's your greatest ally. Things won't go perfectly. There will be some bad years, but that doesn't mean you get emotional. Over time, markets have always recovered, and long-term investing rewards patience. I'll go ahead and wrap up the video here. In my next video, I'll talk more about the functionalities behind the scenes when it comes to stocks, the mechanics that you need to know so that you understand what's happening once you're invested. And once you know that, then you're ready to start investing yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who you think can really benefit from it. Until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.